interview on All Monsters first, just because it will be like the quieter area. That's good.
I wonder why all the newspapers wrote about Stu, and how the hell did they find out? Who could have told them? I haven't seen Astrid since the day we arrived. I've thought of going to see her, but I would be so awkward, and probably the others would come as well, and it would be even worse. He's just writing a sort of love letter, but also it's a sort of free association kind of letter as well. He's talking about everything that goes through his mind. He's talking about the death of his best friend, who had died only 10 days before, Stuart Sutcliffe, who had been the bassist in the Beatles. But he talks about it only kind of in passing. He's deliberately avoiding the subject. A lot of it is just about how much he loves Cynthia Powell. And that's really great because their marriage didn't end well. It didn't last terribly long. Obviously, she was replaced by Yoko Ono, but at this point she is the most important person in his life. Paul's leaping about on my head. He's in a bunk on top of me and he's snoring. I can hardly get in a position to write, it's so cramped below stairs, Captain. Shut up, McCartney, grunt, grunt. Of course, the other person who's the most important person in his life at this stage is Paul McCartney, and Paul is very much in this letter as well, not least because he's in the bunk bed above where John Lennon is writing part of the letter, so he complains about him snoring and bouncing about on the bed. So it's a really funny letter. It's got a lot of that kind of classic John Lennon humour, but also it's got a sort of innocence to it as well. You know, this is a John Lennon who doesn't realise how famous he's going to be. One collector who's passionate about autograph letters talks about them as a type of time travel, because you've got a physical artifact that takes you back to a specific moment in time. And of course, in the days of electronic communication now, you don't have that. You don't have that physical artifact. So I think people are even more strongly drawn to these pieces of paper where you get Einstein or Nelson or John Lennon in a specific moment in their life. It almost puts you looking over their shoulder at the desk when they write the letter, or in this case, the bunk bed.
Well, I think he was in Wales, that's out his coach. He's wearing a full naval uniform. He's got his thing going round and round, and his arm. It's been the last 60 years in the American collection. Okay.
This is a painting by an artist called Jan Davids de Heem, and he was the greatest still life painter in the mid-17th century. He revolutionized the idea of the pronk still life, or so-called sumptuous still life, that you see here through 4 canvases. And he did this in the 1640s. And this incredible still life is one of the best to come on the market in a generation. It is as if straight off the easel in the most perfect state of preservation. These days, we have found that the market has opened itself up to a kind of a broader spectrum. While perhaps there was a more of a connoisseurial approach to collecting in the past, you now have people who perhaps might have collected contemporary art exclusively at some point and now paying attention to old master paintings because they speak to them in a way that perhaps they didn't in the past, and also addressing them from a masterpiece level. That's something that is a great work of art through time.
No, they're flowers.